Digital Marketing Misfits.
Podcasts are supposed to be audio for this reason, but now in the age of short form social media, now everybody has to get on camera, and everybody should. So just start telling your story, break the fourth wall, because it will open up doors that we're going to show you later on next month. Cliffhanger.
If you guys aren't already creating content, start creating content.
Literally,
and just think about creating value or telling stories. Don't worry about how to monetize. Just start creating content, even if that means just getting out of your comfort zone and getting in front of a camera.
If you're like into Star Wars, just make Star Wars content. You'll find other Star Wars people, and as long as there's a number on a screen, it'll open doors for you.
General Hospital in the 80s. Good Lord.
But next story now, you guys want to talk about a really good Motorola ad because we're on like stories, or do we want to talk about the redefining success? I'm going to let you guys choose.
Well, let's let the audience choose. What does the audience want to see about?
Let us know. Now we got 20 seconds to wait because they're on a delay.
Tell them again.
Oh, they're on a 20-second.
So we're gonna talk about a really good Motorola ad because we're on concept of storytelling, and then we can actually talk about redefining success online and entrepreneurship.
I think the ad makes more sense, and then we can roll into.
What products do Motorola like? What's their primary product now?
We're about to find out. So let me.
Good question.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Motorola, like that's just a really weird ad or a really weird company to have. I came across my page and it was like 6 million views, I think, or something. Yeah, it's wild. All right, so let's come over to here. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
I decided to throw a dart at this world map and actually fly wherever it lands with just a small suitcase and my Motorola Edge to attempt to step outside my comfort zone and meet new people. Now, to begin my adventure, I flew 12 long hours from the US to Italy and took a taxi to the nearest train station where I truly realized just how challenging this trip would be since I can't speak Italian. And honestly, I was a bit nervous to go out alone, but after finally arriving in Bari, I decided to use my Motorola to communicate with people using a translator, and eventually I met this guy named Aldo who spoke a little English and offered to show me around the city. Then the next day he invited me to a local convention where I met even more nice people and learned how different yet similar Italy is compared to America. Now before I had to go home, my new friend Aldo had one last surprise for me, but first I want to give a quick shout out to the new Motorola Edge for making all of this possible. Their phone's battery life lasts up to 2 days, which was an absolute lifesaver on this trip, and their OIS high-resolution camera really came in handy filming on the go. Then, to end the trip, I went out to dinner with a few new friends and celebrated with some real Italian food. Today, I decided...
So it's story, and then talking about the product.
Yeah,
story was number one.
Yeah.
Yes,
UGC. It was UGC.
Yeah, but didn't you see the commercial right in the beginning? I thought that was. I mean, I didn't think that was a good one. It was so obvious.
It was obvious, but
wait, where did you see the commercial in the beginning though? Because I literally the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is a cool." And I, like as soon as the Motorola came out, where he's like, "Oh, my Motorola thing," it was 35 seconds into the ad, and I was like, "They hooked me for 35 seconds before I realized it was."
Was it that long? Okay.
Yeah, it was literally. It's a minute 9. It was 35 seconds. They talked about the phone for about 3 seconds, which the experienced mind is like the experienced marketing mind is like, yeah, this is a commercial.
Plus,
and I like one of the main features that he pointed out was a pain point for most people where the battery life lasts 2 days. How many people in here now have a phone that lasts 2 days?
I don't.
I sure as hell don't. Now, if I could pull out my Nokia from the 90s, I bet you that thing's still charged.
Play some Snake. You can probably build a house as much of a beating as that thing would take.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was. But again, that ad. We talked about this. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks? I don't know how many weeks ago. We talked about was it the premium being right? The story was the thing that everybody wanted, and they talked 10% about the actual thing they were selling. And again,
but it was subtle features all throughout though. Like you name drop it on the way, but it's all just kind of like interwoven to the story because they're more curious about, oh, this dude threw a dart at a map and now he's traveling all over the world. Oh, okay, he took his phone, whatever. Oh, now he's meeting Aldo. Oh, okay, he's got a translator. Oh, well, now he's going to some convention. Oh, Italians and Americans. And it's like there's so much interwoven there before he even says, oh, it's got a 2-hour battery life. Oh, it's got a high resolution camera, and then it's right back to the having fun, enjoying things. It's I mean, it was a really genius piece of content.
Let me ask.
I was just going to say, slipping a pill, like an allergy pill, into a hot dog and feeding it to your dog. It's like the main meat, the juicy part. That's what they want. That's what they see, and then they get tricked into consuming something that's going to help them.
Yeah, and the medium at which people are consuming this, you can tell. Like, I don't think that medium would work as well if we were just watching TV, right? And that were the style, the way that they styled that UGC, but like story, it just vertical, it just fit perfect for the audience that was intended to watch that on TikTok. So more and more and more brands are realizing, okay, where is the attention? Okay, the attention is on TikTok, Facebook Reels, right? There's a lot more people consuming that content than they are traditional television now. So another pitch for content creators and UGC and people like that, they're in such high demand because brands are transitioning over to eyeballs. Where are the eyeballs? Where are people spending all of their time? People are spending their time staring at their phones on social apps. Yeah. So if you want to get your product in front, if you want to get people to purchase your product, they're basically billboards on social media apps, right? They're no longer dumping money into TV networks, and they end up spending tens of millions, probably $100 million per year, depending on how big the brand is, into television ads. And a lot of that ad money now is flowing straight into non-traditional, more social apps and things like that. So if you're somebody who's like, hey, I want to get into the make money online, this, that, and the other, but you kind of find your path with content creation, don't sell yourself short, and understand the fact is that if you can get good at content creation, you can make more money than you could ever dream of just by doing that. So
Jamar, on the flip side of the content creation, because you guys deal with it more than I do, but how about all the ancillary trades in here, like the video editing, getting really, really good? You can make the same, right? If you get good at those things, because people are going to need that too. That's
the flip side too. That's a whole nother industry of
all the jobs around the creator.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. People. Yeah. That's right. And there's people out there who have already generated 6-figure agencies where all they do is just edit and curate and caption people's short form content.
Right.
So, I mean, there's so many ways to skin a cat here when it comes to the world of monetizing, or, what were we talking about, Dom? Commerce versus our commerce times.
Content and commerce are colliding.
Yeah. Content and commerce are colliding like people have never, ever seen before. TikTok is about to, they're about to have their own shopping.
Yeah.
Like their own, think Amazon and the way that Amazon and they have their Amazon Live. Think that only on TikTok. So people will be able to ship and curate and create products and do everything and sell completely through TikTok.
Yep.
It's wild,
right? It's pretty wild.
I already see some people doing that on TikTok and using it that way. Obviously, it's going to be way different, and the way that people are going to be buying is going to be different. But I see people on TikTok doing lives where they're filling orders, and as your orders come in, they're like, oh, James just put in this order, let's do this one live. And they're picking and doing the orders, or they're doing stones and I'll throw this in for you. Or there's that one guy that has different snack foods from around the world, and you're able to put those different snacks, and he gets his bag, he's like, all right, let's fill this order, and he's filling people's orders, and people want to see their order.
You know what that reminds me of, Mason, is when you're on a website and they have the little so-and-so just bought something, so-and-so just bought something. And you're like, oh, wait, I want to buy too. I want to be part of that.
I was going to say, never has it been so easy to access so many people as a small business owner to just literally just hit live on your phone. And if you have a garage or an office or something where you create your product for people, to be able to actually have people watch you live creating products for other people.
Yeah.
People are fascinated by those things. They'll sit there and watch an hour straight of a guy that's just, building a table out of wood or something, right? Where he just posts his phone up.
People are watching people peel the eggs, the skin off eggs.
Oh, you get those too?
I do.
And
I'm like, people are stuck watching these people just take the shell off of an egg. I mean, that's
yeah.
There's so weird.
There's a girl who has a live Shopify counter. So she has this counter that every time somebody makes a purchase on her Shopify site, you can see it. You can see it flip, right? And all she's doing is you guys may have seen her is she's from Maine, and she takes like lobster. It's almost like it's polypro line. She takes this line and she creates these mats, like outdoor, like pool mats, only made out of like colored polypro, like a plastic liner. And it's incredible because I saw her from like a month or two ago, and she had like 750 sales. And then I hadn't come back to her account, or I just hadn't seen it in a while. And now it was like 7,000. It was like 2 or 3 months later. And I was like, and she literally just does this and goes live for 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And she just takes the orders and she makes them live right in front of everybody. And I'm like, this is incredible. The amount of money that she's making just by hitting live, and people see the product that she's creating. They realize it's made by her, right?
Yeah.
It's not made by anybody else. So they're like, wow, I get this. I get to support her, right? Not only am I following her, but I get to support her in her journey as an entrepreneur. And I get to take this product and I can share it with other people and do this and do that, right? So that, again, when people purchase products through small business owners like that, they feel like they're part of the journey. They're part of the story of this person growing their business. I supported this person when they had, this amount of followers. Now they have this amount of followers, and they've sold, 5,000 more of these little placemat rugs. So it's just, this has not, think about 5 years ago. Did this exist 5 years ago? No. I mean, it's just, it blows my mind. And all they're really doing truly is just creating content. That's all they're doing, and allowing people to look in through the window and access what it is that they're doing.
Oh, it's funny you say that. I mean, I don't think they're really they're not really creating content deliberately. Like, it's basically like when you take a factory tour, like why don't you take the factory tour at Hershey and they watch them make the chocolate? You just walk on that catwalk with the windows. That's all you're doing.
It's the same with going to Krispy Kreme and looking at the donuts coming through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be a part of something. And I've even seen, have you guys seen the live TikToks where, like, if you have an action, if you follow, if you send a gift, if you do something, they've got like this little receipt printer thing that starts printing out your name and what you've done coming out on, and people want to see their name and they want to be a part of something.